It's a game that is both predictable and could also provide some surprises, but more so in regards to the lineups for both sides. Before we get started, be sure to get your predictions in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit the like button, subscribe, and also hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. That all will help me in a massive, massive way. So thank you so much for doing that. Chelsea come into this game having lost 2 out of our last 5 in all competitions, and frankly that seems rather generous if we're really talking form. Domestically, Chelsea have won just 1 out of their last 5 with 2 draws and 2 losses. Again, frankly, I just want the World Cup to come as soon as possible because delusions of getting results in the last 2 games before then just seem just that, delusional. Many will argue that the team fielded by the home side will determine the result, but recent games will tell you that the team we field is just as catastrophic in determining the result of the game against a team of this quality. A timid, spineless performance against Arsenal a couple of days ago highlighted that, you know, things that we already knew, but on a whole new scale. And yes, whilst we are riddled with injuries, and the fact of the matter is the chemistry is amiss, practically non-existent. So in a game like this, where they're against a full-strength Man City side with Haaland, etc. playing, or a D side, I think their chemistry will shine above ours. There just seems to be no cohesion, no combination, no chemistry in this side. Like I think we saw some articles saying that a lot of players just aren't even mates. To be fair, like they don't. There's a very big disconnect between all the players behind closed doors, and if true or not, it seems like that could honestly be the case. Personally, I see this game as a real chance to give some of the youngsters, some young players, some bench players, some underperforming players, which a broad term I know could literally mean all the players, some game time against another top performing side and almost another reality check that things need to change and that work over the winter break in Abu Dhabi is absolutely needed. Omari, Hutchinson and Lewis Hall both called up to the squad, and whilst exciting, the prospect of either of them playing, the likelihood of either starting in a game that will be the 3rd domestic loss in a row if we get knocked out is very low. I still think he's going to field a strong side, to be honest with you. We thought he'd rest players against Zagreb, had a full side. So playing against Manchester City, when the domestic sort of form that we've got at the moment would suggest that he will still go with a relatively strong side. Maybe stronger than some would like. However, I do see the likes of Zakaria, Gallagher, Broja all starting for sure. Or at least I would like to see that. You know, I think Mount will remain a starter and Pulisic will join him in attack. Defensively, well, we have no one else. Everyone's injured. So I reckon it's the same old in that regard. Maybe resting Thiago Silva and playing Koulibaly instead. But again, we'll have to see how he is. It's a tricky one. It really is. Predictions wise, I think they are. I think that if they play a weak side, which they absolutely do not need to do, given the fact that there is only 1 game left after this, I think we could take it to penalties, as there is obviously no extra time in Carabao Cup competition, or at least this early on in the stages of the competition. That said, a real positive performance would be to avoid conceding a ridiculous amount of goals, especially if Erling Haaland is to play coming back from an injury and given even 20-30 minutes game time towards the end of the game. I think him playing will be the determining factor. That said, I know that this could all be very negative, but I'm just being realistic. I just want the World Cup to be here. I really do, so that we can have just a month or 2, more or less, without just rebuild. Have a bit of time off. Go to Abu Dhabi. Do something with this team. The January window, of course, coming thick and fast. Who are we going to buy? No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I really am. Thank God this is the last, second to last preview before the World Cup commences. I'm going, with that said, for a 1-1 and then winning it on penalties. Another bold decision. I came into the Arsenal one thinking we were going to win that, and that was probably delusional on my part. We're due a shithouse performance, a shithouse result, and whilst not the most important competition, and frankly, one I think we could do without when you consider fixture congestion, recurring injuries, the state of the Premier League in regards to us, and our upcoming ties against Dortmund in the last 16. If we lose, we lose. If we win, just remember the next round is the week commencing the 19th of December. So, if we can avoid a silly game in this competition, if we were to win against Manchester City, if we can avoid a silly game in, just, you know, it's the longer we can go without having to play and being able to kind of get the chemistry up and going again, the better. As well, we have to consider we have Manchester City and Liverpool the month after in the league. And God knows, those are more important games. Whether or not you're thinking, oh, you do want to lose a game. No, I don't want to lose. But in this instance, I think it would benefit us more. If we lose, we lose. And then we don't have to worry about the Carabao Cup. All right? But regardless of that, I don't think it's such a bad thing this season should we get knocked out early doors. It's just as simple as that. We've got so many more important things to worry about. We've got the Champions League. We've got the Premier League in terms of maybe even getting in the top 7 at this point, if the way we're going. So much to consider. The least important trophy this season, it might be what's it called? A gift in disguise, a blessing in disguise. Should the fact that we've got Man City this early on. So anyway, I'm rambling at this point, but I do think we're going to win 1-1, and then we're going to win it on penalties. Mendy masterclass to get back in everyone's good books. I'm calling it now. With that said, another game closer to the World Cup. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content, including some YouTube, some FIFA streams and all that good stuff over the winter period and the World Cup period. So if I'm live, you won't know unless you use the bell notification to be notified of any future content here on the channel. With that said, my name is Harry, up the Chelsea, and peace.